Hi folks, it's Alan here and welcome to my electronics cave. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about these things, which are my Apex digital to analog converters and streamers, which we're launching on a Kickstarter campaign right now. So this one, which is actually the main thing we're going to talk about, is my kind of all singing, all dancing, top of the range streamer. You can see here it's kind of designed with a nice, in this case it's a monkey puzzle front with a lovely little illuminated stripe in there, which I'm quite proud of. And this, it contains a full digital to analog converter. Now sound wise, it's designed to sound really smooth and really analog, a bit more like a record player than a D2A converter. And a lot of it's based around the technology from the pink triangle da capo D2A converter back from the 90s, but brought right up to date. And in this case, it has a streamer on board. So at the moment, actually, I'm currently streaming a bit of audio, high quality audio from, in this case, Name Radio. But actually, most of the stuff that I tend to stream on here would actually typically be streamed from a network accessible storage device or something similar to that. So actually, I'm just going to switch to folder and look at my NAS, which is in here. And so I could, for example, switch to a bit of a blast from the past, some nice 1980s. Let's go for some classic Aha here. So again, you can see the streamer's doing its job quite nicely. Now, this particular streamer obviously has the streamer built in and the digital to analog converter built in. By the way, the amplifier I'm using to test all of this is just a simple test amplifier, nothing clever about that. But let's turn that down a little bit and basically then talk a bit more about this. So this is the kind of top of the range version, but actually I've also got its smaller brother here, which doesn't contain the streamer, but does contain the same digital to analog converter. And in this case, it's USB input. So actually what I've done here, in order to show what's going on in a bit more detail and demonstrate a little bit more, is actually I've pulled the board out of one of these, and this is one of my pre-production unit prototype boards. And actually the board here shows you exactly what's going on. You can see that there's a USB input here. There's actually audio leads going into that amplifier, which reminds me I need to switch over the channels on the amplifier so you can hear it when I do press play. And actually what I'm going to be doing here is streaming it from a Windows PC. So in this case, I'm using an application called Music B. And you can probably see down here at the minute, actually the only things that are available to that in terms of sound cards and sound devices is speakers, Realtek audio. That's the speakers within this laptop. But if I now plug in the USB on my digital to analog converter, two things will happen. First thing is, you may notice a little red light's just come on down here telling me that I've got connection. And actually over here on the Windows PC, you can now see another audio device has arrived. That's the Apex DAC, which is item number 2 that's highlighted there in blue. So that now allows me to stream things straight from this laptop. And let's stick with the 1980s theme. And in this case, let's go for a bit of Eurythmics. We're going to do for Sweet Dreams. So again, here you can hopefully hear that that's coming through nicely. And the clever thing about this digital to analog converter, the stuff that we've spent all of this time and effort developing, is not just the USB interface, it's actually this section here. It's the single bit D2A converters that are bespoke D2A converter designs. You can see 2 of them here with the red capacitors at one end, which is the analog filter, and all of this really, really clever digital circuitry here. And that's actually really what's truly important about this particular design. All of that circuitry is designed to optimize the clocking and make sure that the clock frequencies and the clock jitter that goes into this final D2A stage is as little as practically possible. And in this case, we're achieving things that are at least 10 times better, probably considerably more than that compared to the pink triangle da capo D2A converter. So the audio on this thing really does sound truly fantastic, and we're really proud of what we've managed to achieve here. So as I mentioned, this will all be coming out on Kickstarter in the very near future, so please sign up to my campaign, and as soon as it launches you'll be notified. And if you are interested in getting your hands on one of these or supporting us in another way, let us know, and you'll have a choice of the basic USB model or the full streaming model, and there's actually external power supplies as well that further improve the sound quality yet further on these. So I'm looking forward to you joining me on this exciting journey.